Armenia armed its Su-30 fighters with Iranian glide bombs. Armenian Su-30SM fighter jets flew over Yerevan's Republic Square on May 28, 2026, carrying what open-source analysts identified as Iranian-made precision-guided glide bombs, presenting the clearest public evidence, yet that Armenia has armed its Russian-built fighters with weapons from Tehran rather than Moscow, resolving a procurement scandal that had dogged the aircraft since their arrival in the country. The parade showcased military equipment from 7 countries simultaneously, reflecting the breadth of Yerevan's post-2020 weapons diversification drive. Among the hardware on display, the Su-30SM aircraft drew particular attention from open-source defense analysts who identified what appeared to be Iranian Yasin-class precision-guided glide bombs mounted on the jet's hardpoints, if confirmed the weapons visible on the Su-30SM during the flyover would represent a significant operational milestone. Armenian fighters that have previously lacked serviceable air-to-ground munitions finally equipped with precision standoff weapons capable of striking targets at ranges reportedly up to 120 kilometers (75 miles). The Su-30SM is a Russian-made 4th-generation plus multi-role fighter built by Irkut Corporation, a derivative of the export-oriented Su-30MK family, and one of the most capable aircraft in Russia's own inventory. Armenia contracted for 4 of them in early 2019, with the first pair delivered in December of that year. Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan personally announced their arrival on social media, describing the purchase as our most important acquisition this year. The aircraft are 2-seat thrust-vectoring supermaneuverable jets capable of carrying up to 8,000 kilograms, 17,640 pounds of weapons across 12 hardpoints and reaching maximum speeds of Mach 2 with a combat radius of 1,500 kilometers, 932 miles. The problem, which became a national political controversy, was that Armenia bought the jets without a missiles package. Pashinyan confirmed this publicly in March 2021, acknowledging that the Su-30SMs had arrived without the air-to-air or air-to-ground munitions that would make them combat-capable. That admission came months after the 2020 Nagorno-Karabakh war, in which Armenian forces suffered a catastrophic defeat against Azerbaijani drone and precision strike operations, and in which the Su-30SMs played no role because they lacked weapons to carry. The revelation that Armenia had paid for advanced fighters it could not effectively employ in its most consequential military conflict in decades generated significant public anger and parliamentary criticism of the Pashinyan government's defense procurement decisions. Armenia's subsequent efforts to arm the Su-30SMs have traced an unconventional path through multiple countries. In September 2024, Armenia formally reached out to India, requesting assistance in procuring Astra air-to-air missiles, the Indian-developed radar-guided interceptor that would give the Su-30SMs a credible bay-and visual range air combat capability. HAL, India's state-owned aerospace manufacturer, which builds the Indian Su-30 MKI under license from Sukhoi, was simultaneously approached for expertise in upgrading the Armenian aircraft. Those discussions remained ongoing as of the parade date, without a confirmed agreement. The Iranian weapons appearing at the May 28 parade represent a parallel track. Iran unveiled what it describes as the Yasin precision-guided glide bomb system in 2019, entering it into operational service the same year, and has described it as compatible with the full range of Iranian fighter-bomber platforms in all weather conditions, day and night. A glide bomb is a precision weapon released from an aircraft at altitude that uses wings and a guidance system to glide toward its target, dramatically extending the effective range compared to a conventionally dropped bomb while keeping the launching aircraft outside the range of most ground-based air defenses. The 120-kilometer, 75-mile standoff range attributed to the Yasin-class by Iranian state sources would allow Armenian Su-30SMs to engage targets deep inside Azerbaijan's territory without entering range of Azerbaijani air defense systems. Iranian state weapons performance claims have historically required independent verification before being accepted at face value, and no external assessment of the Yasin's actual combat performance has been published. The broader context of Armenia's weapons acquisition from Iran sits within the same diplomatic framework that produced the Majid air defense systems also displayed at the May 28 parade. Armenian and Iranian officials have confirmed that a defense cooperation agreement reported by multiple outlets to carry a value in the range of $500 million was signed in 2024, covering multiple weapons Categories: the Iranian weapons reaching Armenia arrive via a transaction structure that bypasses both Russian and Western export control frameworks, which is significant for different reasons. In each case, Russia would typically expect to be the weapon supplier for its own Su-30SM export customers, and Western partners, including the United States, have concerns about Iranian weapons transfers to any country regardless of that country's political alignment.